The courtroom drama kicks off with the case of Davis versus Ham. Ms. Davis is here claiming Mr. Ham is the father of her 1-month-old baby, Jerrell Ham Jr., and she's brought the request for a DNA test to prove it. Fasten your seatbelts. The roller coaster is just starting.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Davis, you claim you got pregnant with Mr. Ham's child after knowing him for only 2 months. You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove that Mr. Ham is the father of your 1-month-old baby, Jerrell Ham Jr.
In a twist, Ms. Davis is also hitting Mr. Ham with a lawsuit for $1,500 over some baby shower gifts he allegedly snagged from her. She spills the tea on their whirlwind 2-month romance and the unexpected pregnancy that followed. Strap in, the story takes a wild turn from here.
You're suing him for $1,500 for the cost of the baby shower gifts that you say Mr. Ham took from you. Now, Mr. Ham, you say Ms. Davis was dating 2 other men, and you are certain that you are not father of her child.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ham throws a curveball, doubting he's the daddy. He points to Ms. Davis's other romantic entanglements and her still being married status as reasons. He's pretty adamant, setting the stage for some serious courtroom drama. Buckle up, the plot thickens.
Okay, this can't really be my child due to the fact she had all these boyfriends. At the end of the day, I come found she's married too. I don't know what to believe.
At some point after you're at this lake and you start talking, you have a sexual relation.
In the car with me, and we left that same day, and we had unprotected sex that same day. We had sex that same day.
After 2 days of knowing him, how can you be with somebody?
You
didn't even
slept
know
me the first day.
You didn't even. So what? You had.
So what? But you just
did
said it was the
too.
second day.
Okay, look, you had unprotected.
And I'm not lying. Yeah, we did.
Ms. Davis recounts a tale of sudden illness at work, leading to a shocking pregnancy discovery at the hospital. She describes breaking the news to a then joyful Mr. Ham, whose joy quickly sours amid heated arguments. The stakes are high, and you won't believe what happens next.
Couldn't take it, so I told asked my supervisor, can I go to the hospital? They took me to the hospital. I'm thinking I had food poisoning or something, and I was pregnant.
After you found out you were pregnant,
yes.
How did you tell Mr. Ham?
I called his phone and told him I was pregnant. He was at work. I went to his job. The man was talking about it. He was happy, excited. Yes, I did. Went to your job.
So you felt like his reaction was that of excitement?
He was gonna be there. Gonna help me out and do all this.
The judge dives deep into the tangled web of Ms. Davis's love life, piecing together a timeline that's as complicated as a soap opera. With overlapping liaisons with Mr. Ham and another beau, the paternity puzzle just gets more jumbled. Stay tuned, the truth starts to unravel.
You've admitted that at this time you had a husband.
Yes.
You had a boyfriend.
2 boyfriends.
And you
Actually, my husband, we separated.
But you had a boyfriend. Were sleeping with Mr. Ham.
Yes, I was.
Were you sleeping with any of the other men?
My boyfriend. My boyfriend. My boyfriend.
So you do admit today, during the window of conception, you were sleeping with your boyfriend and Mr. Ham.
I stopped sleeping with my boyfriend the beginning of July.
Shift gears to a baby shower fiasco where Mr. Ham ended up hoarding all the presents, sparking this $2,500 lawsuit. Ms. Davis claims all she got were a few gift cards and a measly check. Hang on, the judge's ruling on this mess is up next, and it's a doozy.
You had to be excited about the baby. You had to feel like...
The baby shower, I did not even want until after the baby was here, until I found out it was mine.
But at some point, you had a baby shower.
Due to the fact that she talked my family into it.
I
got into it with my family.
Ms. Davis, his family into giving a baby shower for the baby?
No, I did not. I didn't even know they were throwing me the baby shower. They begged me to come to the baby shower because me and him previously, we got into an argument. He like, don't come to this baby shower.
The judge lays down the law on the baby shower gifts, siding with Ms. Davis. Mr. Ham is ordered to either cough up the gifts or shell out $1,500. Just when you think it's all wrapped up, the DNA results make their grand entrance.
Key word is give. Once you give a gift, you cannot take it back. At this time, based on the evidence you presented, I have no choice but to rule in favor of the plaintiff for $1,500 because those gifts belong to the baby. You need to return the gifts, or you need to give her $1,500, which is the value of the gifts because you testified that was the value, whether or not you're the child's father.
Drum roll, please. The DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Ham, you are Jerrell's father.
Like I said, I don't have no problem with stepping up, but at the same time, I can't be in this child's life if she's trying to control me with this child.
It has been determined by this court that you are this child's biological father, which means as a father, you have rights.
The case starts with the official introduction of the participants and the case announcement. Spruell vs. Dixon. Judge Lake welcomes everyone with a warm yet formal greeting. The stage is set for a showdown you won't forget.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Spruill versus Dixon.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Miss Spruill, you are furious that you had to file a paternity case against the defendant, Mr. Dixon, due to his denial of your daughter, Skya.
You'll want to hear this. Mr. Dixon lays out his side, describing their relationship as nothing more than a fling. He doubts his paternity based on a particular conversation, which he thinks proves his point. What's Ms. Spruill's comeback? It's just around the corner.
Mr. Dixon, you claim that your relationship with Miss Spruill was purely sexual, and one conversation that occurred is the only proof you need that her child is not yours. Is
Yes,
that correct?
Your Honor.
So, Miss Spruill, why is he denying paternity?
Here comes a curveball. Marvin, possibly a friend or relative, brings out a diagram to help illustrate his doubts about the paternity, involving a tale about a co-worker who shockingly claims the baby belongs to his brother. This plot twist might just turn everything upside down.
Well, as you can see, I have a family that works at a store. On this particular day, my family member wanted to present Skya around. One day she went to work, it was like, hey, we're so excited about our newest family member, Skya. So she goes around showing pictures, excited about it, showing to our coworkers, her bosses and everything, except for one particular coworker comes out of the blue and was like, whoa, wait a minute, pause. That's not his baby, that's my brother's baby. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Why would this girl come out of the blue and claim that this is her brother's baby?
Just when you think it's calmed down, the debate gets even fiercer as Ms. Spruill accuses Mr. Dixon of deception, particularly about the events surrounding her pregnancy. She's tired of his denials and is ready to set the record straight. What happens next will have you on the edge of your seat.
Because Kamaya is constantly lying.
Oh, wow.
She even lies about this baby. It was a time when she was pregnant. She said, I slipped and fell in the tube.
Your
You
sister
texted me, you
took me to
texted
the
me saying,
hospital.
you texted me saying you're in the ER the whole entire time, but once phone,
His
you were in the
sister
living
took
room,
me to the hospital.
giggling, laughing, playing
His
with your
sister.
son.
And as far as the co-worker telling his family member, that same co-worker got on the phone with me and his family member and let it be known his family member was mistaken. He wasn't even around.
Expect the unexpected. The discussion shifts to Mr. Dixon's decisions, like his move to Alabama, supposedly for a job, where he allegedly started another family. Ms. Spruill uses his Facebook activity against him, suggesting his actions speak louder than words. The revelations keep coming, so stay tuned.
Mr. Dixon ran off to Alabama when his daughter was 1 month old, to say he was working. He wasn't working. He was not working.
I
you
moved
want
to
to know
Alabama to get a better job.
Oh, no.
To make more money.
Wasn't even 7 months. Mr. Dixon had a whole nother child while he was still with me.
So what was he doing in Alabama? Not
Making babies. Yeah, he was doing in some work. He put in a lot of work.
Are you ready for more bombshells? Ms. Spruill presents evidence from social media, showing Mr. Dixon's previous acceptance of Skya, which contradicts his current stance. The courtroom is buzzing, and Judge Lake's reaction is not to be missed. The climax is fast approaching.
You say he accepted the baby at first, and this is your evidence to prove it. So this is his,
And that is my baby girl. And he had other pictures of Skya on there as well.
And you claim he's accepting her. He's made her.
He was so happy.
You're saying when she was born, he was claiming her. He was saying my baby girl is in the world.
He was there my entire pregnancy. He said I was pregnant because he's throwing up everywhere. He said I was pregnant.
Hold your breath. It gets juicier. During a family Thanksgiving, the truth about Mrs. Spruill's pregnancy comes out, leading to more disputes and accusations flying left and right. Everyone's tempers are flaring. What will happen when the dust settles?
Everybody found out that I was pregnant. Everybody knew I was pregnant by then. Because at first they were saying I was lying about being pregnant because Mr. Dixon kept telling them I was, even though he went to the
All she
appointment
do
with
is
me.
lie. You don't know what to
You
believe.
went with me. How did I lie?
You don't know what to believe.
So did you go with me to the appointment? Did
I
you?
went.
Was you there when they said I was pregnant?
No, I wasn't there when it
Oh, you wasn't
came
there?
back with-
Oh, and didn't they tell you to come to the back? So we didn't go to the back and talk to that nice
I
lady.
was never there.
You
I was
wasn't
at the
there?
house the whole entire time when you
All right.
Gear up for an explosion of revelations. The dialogue turns into a volley of accusations about lies concerning the child's health and Mr. Dixon's reliability. Their frustration is palpable, and neither is backing down. Watch out for the judge's intervention. It's a game changer.
When me and Mr. Dixon are on good terms, he's daddy of the year. Me and him fall out, Skya doesn't exist. And that's what infuriates me more than anything. I don't care how you feel about me. That baby didn't deserve
Well,
that.
why do you
My
lie?
baby did not deserve that. I know what it feels like to grow up without your daddy. It's not a good feeling. And to have somebody come in and out of your life, it's not fair. If you're gonna be her daddy 24/7. Don't pick and choose your days.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The DNA test results are revealed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Dixon, you are the father.
The case, Davis v. Simpson, is announced. Jerome gets a shout out from the judge for his assist. The stage is set and it looks like we're in for a wild ride. Let's buckle up for the twists and turns ahead.
Ms. Davis, you say that after a rocky marriage and nearly 15-year separation, you reconnected with your ex-husband 3 years ago. You say Mr. Simpson is now denying he is your 2-year-old daughter Elizabeth's father.
Strap yourselves in, folks. Ms. Davis drops a bombshell right away, claiming her ex-husband, Mr. Simpson, denies being the father of their 2-year-old Elizabeth despite reconnecting 3 years ago after a 15-year break. She's here to lay down the law and prove paternity. The judge recaps the stakes, making sure everyone's on the same page. Up next, Mr. Simpson takes the stage. Get ready for fireworks.
Mr. Simpson, you say that your ex-wife cheated on you multiple times and is incapable of being faithful. You say there is no way you are her daughter's father and DNA test will prove your case. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Ms. Davis isn't taking this lying down. She fiercely confronts Mr. Simpson's accusation of her infidelity, admitting to some truths but firmly denying others. The air crackles with tension as they hash out old grievances. Keep your eyes peeled. Mr. Simpson's about to recount a tale from their past that will have you picking your jaw off the floor.
What do you have to say about Mr. Simpson's assertion that you are incapable of being faithful?
Your Honor, I think it's ludicrous. He's being an idiot. I know that she is his, and I'm tired of our past coming into play.
For a fact, I've known 11 times that she's cheated in her previous relationships.
11 times?
Yes, ma'am.
Fasten your seatbelts. We're diving into memory lane. Mr. Simpson relives a past betrayal, catching Ms. Davis in a compromising situation. His story paints a vivid picture of their rocky history, eliciting gasps and chuckles from the audience. Ms. Davis isn't about to let that stand. Her side of the story is next, and it's a doozy.
We were married 15 years ago. She tells me after I get off work to stay in the house. She got somebody that's coming to visit her. I stay in the house. Somebody pulls in my driveway. I walk out, and she's in the car making out with these people.
In front of your house?
Yes.
And you're inside?
Yes.
Watch as Ms. Davis takes a stroll down her own memory lane, acknowledging her youthful indiscretions while emphasizing her honesty with Mr. Simpson. She offers a peek into their complicated young marriage and eventual split. The plot thickens. Mr. Simpson's next revelation might just tilt the scales.
We were married when I was 16 years old. I was just a kid. But every time I cheated, I was honest with him. So I never lied to him.
Oh, so you cheated and told the truth.
And told the truth about it, yes. And we were only together for about 9 months. And then we split up.
Your Honor, I'm at work and she's home packing up her clothes. As soon as I come in, she's leaving with another man.
So you on your way home and she's on her way out?
Yes, ma'am.
Just when you thought you'd heard it all. Mr. Simpson expresses doubts about Ms. Davis changing her ways, suggesting history is repeating itself in their renewed relationship. He shares his suspicions with the judge, hinting at a pattern that's hard to ignore. What's coming up will have you questioning everything. Ms. Davis is about to discuss pregnancy tests.
I get family and friends telling me that she's bringing guys to my house all the time.
So wait, this is the second time around you say the coincidences and all of the stories are still the same.
Yes.
But it's true, you did reconnect,
yes,
and you all started to have a sexual relationship again.
Well, technically, yes. In the first week, the first week we were together, Your Honor, I just came out of a relationship. I have my own kids. I've got custody of all my kids. Things just wouldn't rise to the occasion because of all the stress that I was going through.
Guess what's popping up next? Pregnancy tests. The question of baby Elizabeth's paternity takes center stage as the timing of Ms. Davis's pregnancy tests becomes a hot topic. Both sides lay out their timeline, leaving everyone scratching their heads. As the tension mounts, the courtroom is on the edge of their seats for the paternity test reveal. This is the moment everyone's been waiting for.
I didn't take a pregnancy test until after he had left me and I had no way to contact him. I was staying in his house. The electricity got shut off. I had to go stay with a friend of mine that helped me and my daughter out. And yeah, I continued to be friends with him even after David came back. And I took a pregnancy test because we went out for New Year's Eve. After that's whenever I found out I was pregnant.
Things are heating up. The debate over paternity reaches a boiling point as Mr. Simpson questions the traits Elizabeth inherited, comparing them to his family's genes. Emotions run high as the implications of the paternity test loom large. Everyone's breath is bated. Watch as the envelope with the results comes into play. This is the climax you've been waiting waiting for.
And you thought the baby wasn't yours. So
Technically.
then you start showing out.
Well, truthful, faithful.
You lost hope at that point.
Yes,
After
and-
the thing in the car,
Yes.
it just felt like your life playing over again.
Yes, I mean, it's like a book. You can only go through it so many times.
And so you decided at that point, she's up to the old.
Yeah, the old tricks.
This is never gonna work. She's pregnant, it's not my baby, I'm gonna move on.
Yes, ma'am.
And here it is, folks, the grand reveal. The paternity results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Simpson, you are the father.
I'm sorry.
The courtroom drama kicks off with the case of Woods versus Volmar. The judge takes the stage, and the room echoes with polite greetings. Buckle up, because the drama is just starting to unfold.
This is the case of Woods versus Volmar.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Woods, you say you had a brief sexual relationship with Mr. Volmar, which resulted in him intentionally impregnating you. You say Mr. Volmar now refuses to take responsibility for his child, and you are here to prove he is your baby's father.
Strap yourselves in for a wild ride. Ms. Woods launches into her story, accusing Mr. Volmar of purposefully getting her pregnant during a quick fling and then dodging his fatherly duties. She's here to prove he's the dad, but Mr. Volmar throws a curveball you won't see coming.
You say Ms. Woods is a manipulative liar who was sleeping with multiple men during the time of conception and is so desperate to be with you that she's decided to pin her child on you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Here's a plot twist. During a key moment, a condom failure turns their casual fling into possible parenthood. Ms. Woods humorously calls herself a fast breeder, quickly corrected by the judge to fertile. You won't believe what comes next.
One thing led to another, we wound up having sex. The condom popped and told him, like, I'm a fast breeder, like I have 4 other kids. So
a fast breeder.
Yes, I'm a fast
Definitely
breeder.
a fast breeder.
Let's just say
He told me he was in a relationship for 5 years.
Get ready for more bombshells. As they dive into the details of their hookups, Mr. Volmar remembers several times when they forgot protection, painting a picture of their carefree encounters. These revelations set the stage for some heated exchanges.
So you admit you had a sexual relationship with Ms. Woods.
That's it.
You weren't in a committed relationship.
Never.
And once she told you she was pregnant, did you immediately think it was your child?
No.
Do you agree with her assertion that when
No.
you all had sex, the condom broke?
Condom broke.
The condom broke.
It was sex. It was fun.
And the condom broke.
Yeah.
This part takes an emotional turn. Ms. Woods vividly describes Mr. Volmar's initial denial of being the father when she told him she was pregnant. She exposes the rocky nature of their relationship and his dismissive attitude. The tension rises as she outlines her next steps.
When you told him you were pregnant, what was his response?
He automatically told me that he wasn't the father because I was staying with a man at the time.
You lived with him.
Does
Visit
not
me.
matter. I was at your house every day, so how I had time to have sex with you and have sex with him.
Wait a minute now,
went to
Ms.
sleep
Woods.
with your
Woods,
man.
if you were living with him, you were still in a relationship with him, right?
Right, our relationship
you
with
weren't
my
having-
other kid's father, but I was not having sex with him within that month I conceived.
The stakes get higher here. Ms. Woods talks about the emotional turmoil and logistical nightmares after discovering her pregnancy, leading to a drastic move. The story deepens, revealing personal struggles and conflicts. What happens when she returns is even more shocking.
I have no choice but to tell him that he might be the father because I was staying with him at the time. So I'm stuck having a baby.
Are you?
Yeah, I had the baby. By you.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
told
I'm
her
100% sure.
I don't even know his
Look at that baby. That baby looks just like you. She don't look nothing like me. That baby look exactly like
has
him.
your
His
head.
eyes, his nose, his
has
facial
your
structure.
feet.
That baby look just like him.
You make those same faces. I remember. That's you.
Hold on to your seats for this confrontation. Mr. Volmar voices his doubts about being the father, thickening the tension in the courtroom. The expert testimony that follows might just flip everything upside down.
I'm
That could be
speaking right
anybody's
now. Okay.
Might be his kid.
We riding around or whatever. He wound up back. I'm like, what you done that for? What you brought the kid back for? Oh, I know it's my child. But which is it? Either she your child or she not your child. Like, I can't deal with
Did you take
him.
the DNA testing kit back?
He brought
the
it
store,
back.
Mr. Volmar?
I wish I could have took her back to the store. She's the worst thing that happened. Promise you, I got so many headaches. This is like...
Why didn't you take the DNA test?
Because he cheap, he don't want to pay for nothing.
As the expert speaks, the plot thickens. With scientific insights into Mr. Volmar's fertility, the courtroom hangs on every word, waiting to see how these revelations will sway the case. The DNA results, revealing the truth, are just moments away.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Volmar, you are the father.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks, let's dive into the soap opera that is the case of Hendricks versus Hendricks. Gather around as we kick things off in the courtroom. The air is thick with suspense and cordial greetings as everyone gears up for what promises to be a juicy session. Buckle up, it's showtime, and the introductions are just the appetizer.
Please be seated.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is a case of Hendricks versus Hendricks.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Hendricks, you and your husband previously appeared in court because you suspected he was being unfaithful.
Yes, Your Honor. She was naked on the bed, and Chris was in there.
Oh, I'm perfectly aware of what's at stake.
There's the girls and then the baby,
Here we go. Mrs. Hendricks spills the tea about their last dramatic appearance in court, suspecting her hubby of a little side romance. Now she's back, with a baby bump in tow, stirring up the emotional pot with talk of their other kids and the latest bun in the oven. Strap in, because this roller coaster is just leaving the station.
You're expecting?
Yeah, I'm
Oh
6
my.
months.
Mr. Hendricks was asked, had he had sex with his ex? What was his response?
His response was no.
What did the lie detector determine?
That he was being truthful.
Mrs. Hendricks, the shoe is now on the other foot. Your husband is accusing you of cheating and says he is not the father of your 1-month-old baby, Chris Jr.
Hold on to your hats, people. We just got word that Mr. Hendricks was telling the truth all along. No hanky-panky with the ex. The crowd goes wild with applause. And let me tell you, the plot thickens as we switch gears to Mrs. Hendricks' side of the story. What's coming next? Oh, it's good.
Mr. Hendricks, you say you confirmed your wife has been unfaithful and there is no way her child yours. So you're also petitioning the court for a lie detector test to determine the extent of your wife's cheating. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any spicier, Mr. Hendricks throws a curveball by accusing Mrs. Hendricks of cheating and questions if he's the real daddy of their 1-month-old Chris Jr. The courtroom's buzzing as they talk about bringing in the lie detector again. Fasten your seatbelts. It's about to get bumpy.
I'm very pissed off because he's your twin. He's his twin.
And you don't think he has any reason to deny the child?
No, I was very honest with him with what happened before, and he has taken it to the extent of denying our son, even though I've done everything he wanted me to do. Named him after him, circumcised him, did everything.
Mrs. Hendricks isn't having any of it, and boy does she let us know. She's downright mad about her husband's denial of their little one, emphasizing all she's done to keep the peace, including naming the kiddo after him. Emotional fireworks are flying, and there's more drama on the horizon. Get ready for the tears and cheers.
You wanted her to do even name the child after you. You don't believe the child is yours?
I don't feel that bond like I do with my other children.
I even named him after your dad.
He barely looks like me. I'm not seeing any characteristics. He don't have any of my personal features. I don't know.
You must
I'm
be
not
blind.
seeing it as well as the others.
Just when you think you've seen it all, Mrs. Hendricks drops a bombshell about battling cancer and sinking into a remission relief. The backstory of their rocky relationship unfolds, painting a picture of love, betrayal, and health scares. Grab your tissues. This tale has twists and turns that could rival a daytime Emmy show.
Take me back to the situation that's surrounding the paternity doubt relating to baby Christopher.
Last September, his Facebook messages were coming to my phone, and it was one of his co-workers, and she was saying very sexual things. About 10 days later, I had found out that I had endometrial cancer, and I had gotten real sick. And
oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
I'm in remission now, thank
God, yes.
Now, here's a spicy tidbit. A family member calls Mrs. Hendricks out as a bold-faced liar right in the middle of a heated chat about supposed infidelity. The family drama is thicker than Thanksgiving gravy, folks. Keep watching, because just when you think you know what's next, the unexpected happens.
We had everybody over at our house drinking. We had started working out our issues. I came into the room, and they were already into a conversation.
Who are they? Who's they?
Carrie and her...
Miss Hendricks and a family member.
And a family member.
Okay.
I was like, so what is it that you're supposed to tell me? And she says nothing. She looks at this family member, says, I put it on such and such's grave that nothing happened. And the family member looked at her and said, you're a bull-faced liar. You came to my house that very next night and said you did it.
Imagine the shock. Mrs. Hendricks finds out she's pregnant amidst this chaos, and the timing couldn't be more controversial. Mr. Hendricks is scratching his head, wondering if the stork got the wrong address, because after years of trying, this surprise has everyone guessing. Hold on to your hats. The explanation is a doozy.
Do you tell Mr. Hendricks immediately, I'm pregnant?
I was at I had actually went into the emergency room because I had an internal hernia. My surgeon had ordered a pregnancy test, all this, because if I had to go in for surgery. They came back and said, you do realize you're very early pregnant. My HCG level was only 22, just implanted.
Which is the reason why I started doubting it right off the bat.
Why?
Because we went through extensive fertility medicine to have our 4-year-old daughter. Tried for 5 years.
The plot thickens as the couple debates whether baby Chris Jr. has daddy's nose or just his attitude. They're parsing out facial features and a mysterious blood disorder that doesn't match the family line. The mystery deepens, and you won't believe the experts' take on this. Coming up next.
You start hanging out with another guy, and then all of a sudden you wind up pregnant. You don't find that funny at all.
Because I know what I was doing, and I know I was with you only.
Okay.
Well, but Ms. Hendricks, I have to say, you just testified that on that night in question, you didn't know what happened.
But I'm a very honest person, and I did call and tell him immediately.
You say, you know what? I'm too drunk. I just did something that I shouldn't have done. Let me call my husband. Let me call my family. Come get me because I know I'm a hot mess over here.
Enter the expert. Swinging the door open on all this blood-type hullabaloo, she breaks down the science behind why Mrs. Hendricks's antibodies might be giving baby Chris a hard time. It's a medical mystery worthy of a detective novel, and you better believe it's more tangled than last year's Christmas lights.
When he was born, he was not breathing for a minute and a half. Finds out he's got a blood disorder. Is crazy because it's fighting with her blood. But the more I got to thinking about it, none of my other kids have ever had this problem. Our 4-year-old daughter does not have this problem.
And so you're wondering if potentially this has something to do with the fact that the baby may have another biological father.
Correct.
But it's not a genetic disorder. My blood type is O positive, the baby's is A positive.
Drum roll, please. The big reveal is here, and guess what?
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Hendricks, you are the father.
I told you.
The courtroom kicks off with some order in the house as the judge calls everyone to take their seats, while Jerome lays down the day's agenda with the case of Alan versus Tolliver. Jerome, always on point, sets the stage for what promises to be a courtroom drama filled with twists and turns. Get ready, because this is just the beginning.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Allen versus Tolliver.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Allen, you claim the defendant got you pregnant and now refuses to do anything for your 2-year-old daughter, Novella.
Things heat up quickly as Ms. Allen drops a bombshell, accusing Mr. Tolliver of neglecting their daughter, Novella, which she claims has led to severe financial and emotional distress. She's not holding back, laying out her case with the seriousness of a final season episode of your favorite legal drama. Watch as Mr. Tolliver tries to dodge these fiery accusations.
You claim today's DNA test will that he is Novella's father and you need him to step up. Mr. Tolliver, you and your girlfriend say you are 100% certain you are not her child's biological father and have evidence to support your claim.
The plot thickens as Mr. Tolliver and his girlfriend stand firm, 100% convinced he isn't the father of little Novella, and they claim they've got the receipts to prove it. Their staunch defense adds a juicy layer to this paternity pickle. Buckle up, because the gloves are coming off.
Absolutely nothing, Honor.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Has he paid any child support at all?
No, Your Honor.
Involved in her life?
No, Your Honor.
Come to visit her?
No, Your Honor.
I have several reasons that I can prove that I'm not the father.
As the court dives deeper, Mr. Tolliver talks about trying to sort out the paternity mess with a DNA test, which Ms. Allen has seemingly been dodging like a pro. This part of the saga adds a dash of mystery to the mix. Why the avoidance, Ms. Allen? Hang tight. Her reasoning is up next, and it's a doozy.
I've tried to get her to do a DNA test. For instance, just the other day, she's not going to do the test.
Have you been avoiding the test, Ms. Allen?
No, I haven't not been avoiding the test.
Why haven't you taken it if he's volunteering?
He's the reason why. I honestly do not want to go take a test by myself with him.
Amid the legal jousting, Ms. Allen shares her side, explaining her reluctance to take the DNA test, particularly not alongside Mr. Tolliver. It's getting personal in here, folks, and you can cut the tension with a knife. What's next? Mr. Tolliver's take on their tangled past, and it's more twisted than a pretzel.
So your thing is the buck stops here until I figure out whether or not I am the father. You don't feel like you want to invest any time getting to know the
No,
child?
it's not that. I mean, she's told me that, over the text messages and phone calls that this is going to be Novella's father.
Wait. When did that come out?
This was when she was in the hospital.
The drama escalates as they rehash their rocky relationship and the ensuing paternity dispute. It's a he said, she said showdown with a child caught in the middle. Just when you think it's all been said, a new piece of evidence comes into play.
So you weren't there on this day, the day she delivered?
No, ma'am.
Were you invited?
How was I invited? Was she going to invite me and him? I mean, that makes no sense.
I told you that he did not have to be in the delivery room, that you could be in there. Yes, I did.
So wait a minute now, Miss, you admit that you had moved on and started dating this gentleman.
Yes.
And you had invited him to the birth of Novella.
Yes.
Was he with you during the pregnancy?
We got together when I was 3 months pregnant, and he was there the whole time.
A crucial moment unfolds as Ms. Allen admits she told Mr. Tolliver that her current boyfriend would be raising Novella, sparking a major misunderstanding about who's the daddy. This revelation throws another wrench into the already complicated narrative. Strap in, the twists keep coming.
The guy that she was seeing at the time with Novella, as in claiming as his daughter.
My girls already learning, laugh out loud. Do you believe that this gentleman is potentially Novella's biological father, or do you feel like this is just someone she's using to get back at you?
I don't know. It just seems to me like that's a very good chance that he is the father.
When you got pregnant, were you dating anyone else at the time?
No.
Ms. Allen insists she has tried to get Mr. Tolliver involved in Novella's life despite his refusals and busy schedule. She's laying it all out there, trying to paint a picture of a one-sided effort. What will the judge make of all this? Stay tuned, because we're heading to a pivotal point.
Do you consistently
press
and try to establish a relationship between Mr. Tolliver and Novella?
Yes, I have constantly tried to get a hold of him. I've even asked if he wanted to come see her, and it's always he's too busy.
But
You don't have a way.
I don't have a driver's license. I can't just up and drive to Pelham, Georgia.
Mr. Tolliver, have you ever met Novella? She's
No,
2
ma'am.
now.
No, ma'am.
2 years.
I know, but I mean, if it was really mine.
The judge zeroes in on the severe allergies of Novella, which adds a whole new layer of urgency to the paternity confirmation. This isn't just about drama, it's about a little girl's health and future. The courtroom holds its breath as the DNA results are about to drop.
That Novella has severe allergies.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why you desperately want to find Mr. Tolliver identified as her biological father. You need help.
She has allergy problems. I'm constantly going back and forth to the doctors with her. She's allergic to just about anything you can be allergic to. Pine trees, oak trees, apples, rice, you name it, she's allergic to it.
There's no medical history of any kind of allergy problems in my family whatsoever, of anything.
With the courtroom on the edge of their seats, the DNA test results are finally ready to be revealed. This is the moment of truth everyone's been waiting for. Will Mr. Tolliver step up or step out? It's about to get real, folks.
Do you believe that when she says it, or do you think
No,
she's
because
just...
I've been going through this for 2 years. For 2 years, every couple months.
I've
Every time
moved
she gets
on.
in a
I don't
fight-
want you in my life. I
And
want you in my
Ms.
daughter's
Bowl,
life.
you're in a relationship with Mr. Tolliver?
Yes, I am.
And how do you deal with all this?
I mean, if it's not his daughter, so that's fine. But if it is his daughter, I'm gonna act, be like a stepmom, I guess you could say. I'll take care of her, I'll make her happy, like it's my child.
Drum roll, please. The results confirm Mr. Tolliver is indeed Novella's father. The courtroom erupts in a mix of applause and sighs of relief. This bombshell has everyone reeling, and now the real work begins. Watch as they navigate the new family dynamics.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. When it comes to 2-year-old Novella Allen, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Tolliver, you are her father.
Okay.
The episode kicks off with some serious courtroom vibes. The court is called to order, and the players in the drama, the case of Hoyer vs. Porter, Horn, and Gentry, are introduced. Grab your popcorn, because this is just the beginning of the courtroom drama.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Hoyer versus Porter, Horn, and Gentry.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Hoyer, after 14 years of being in foster care, you desperately searched for your father.
Mr. Hoyer sets the stage with a heartbreaking backstory. He talks about his rough journey growing up in foster care and the bittersweet end to his search for his father, who turned out to be deceased. Strap in. This roller coaster of emotions is just starting to climb.
That your alleged father, Mr. James Horn, was tragically killed. To make matters worse, you claim his family rejected you, and so you're here today to prove to them that you are indeed his son and finally have a family.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Porter and her mother, Miss Horn, are up next, and they're not buying what Mr. Hoyer is selling. They staunchly believe that Mr. Hoyer is not part of their family based on Mr. Horn's insistence that he had no children. The plot thickens. Stay tuned, because the family drama is about to dial up.
You and your mother, Ms. Horn, who's joining us from her hometown, are adamant that Mr. Hoyer is not biologically part of your family. You claim that before Mr. Horn passed away, he clearly stated that he had no children, and you believe today's DNA results will prove him right.
Here comes Miss Gentry, Mr. Hoyer's mom, hoping to mend fences and uncover truths today, although she's not even sure who the father is. It's a messy situation, and everyone in the courtroom is on the edge of their seats. Things are about to get real juicy.
Ms. Gentry, you are Mr. Hoyer's mother. You say you're hoping to build a better relationship with him today by truthfully answering the court's questions in an effort to determine the truth. You admit you are unsure who fathered your son.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hoyer recounts the pivotal moment he discovered Mr. James Horn might be his dad. Imagine finding out such life-changing news on your birthday. Talk about a birthday surprise. But wait, there's more. Let's see how his first encounter with his potential uncle went down.
Which stopped me right there in my tracks. I was like, wait, you know my father? He was like, yeah, your father is James Horn.
And this was the first person that had looked at you and said, you look just like him.
Yes, Your Honor, and I actually have a photo here.
Jerome, may I see that, please? So this is a photo of the man you were told is your father. When you look at this picture, do you see yourself?
I do in some ways. I see myself through the smile and through the forehead and the eyebrows.
Drama ensues as Mr. Hoyer meets his supposed uncle for the first time. There's talk of hand similarities, but skepticism from others in the room casts doubt. Fasten your seatbelts, because we're diving deeper into this family mystery.
My older brother lives next door, my alleged father's brother. And he went over and asked my alleged uncle about the name, James Horn, and he was like, yes, that's my brother. My adopted brother came and got me, took me over to his neighbors, and that's how I met him.
Secrets come spilling out as Miss Gentry explains her hidden relationship with Mr. Horn, kept under wraps due to racial prejudices. The secret's out now, and the courtroom's buzzing. Hold on, because the family's reaction is just around the corner.
It was a secret. I didn't even know I was really pregnant until I was 6 months. But like I have told my son, there is another man before this man.
So what you're saying is you were open and honest with your son that you had also been intimate with another man before Mr. Horn.
Yes.
The gloves come off as Miss Gentry and Miss Porter clash over past accusations and the legitimacy of Mr. Hoyer's paternity. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. You won't want to miss what happens next as old wounds are reopened.
When you had your son, was Mr. Horn there? Was he involved with your son?
Yes, I had seen my son one time. I left out of the relationship because I had all this controversy with my family.
Well, because when he was born, the secret was out at that point, right?
Yeah, and when I found out he was dead, it devastated me, you know? I mean, devastated me because I loved him so much.
No, she's not telling the truth. When the first time we ever seen her was 2 weeks.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any more heated, emotions boil over. The family confronts each other with accusations flying left and right. Stay tuned. The DNA results are coming up and they're going to drop a bombshell.
4 years old. All I said is your father is dead. That's all I said, and I left it at that.
And then he went to the store to get him some milk and some Pampers, and he got killed. That was a lie too.
Take a lie detector test.
After 23 years, we don't know nothing about this young man. It's a whole lot you need to take.
The way you treated me, you think I'm gonna come back to
but
treat
it's getting
me?
off my chest.
And my baby, you threw us out of the house? Oh, where you coming back to that?
Yes.
The court takes a closer look at childhood photos of Mr. Hoyer and Mr. Horn to hunt for any family resemblance. Some see it, some don't. Either way, we're inching closer to the truth. Don't go anywhere. The DNA results are about to turn everything upside down.
And a young picture of Mr. Horn. You see a resemblance?
Not really. Not in that one.
Do you see yourself at all?
I can see myself in the smile.
And then the second set of photos are these photos.
Now right there, that's when we noticed it. Yes, yes.
And how about you, sir, where you see your face?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's the moment of truth, and the results are in.
The DNA test results have determined that Mr. Horn is not likely your biological father.
The judge kicks things off with a formal yet is somewhat relaxed vibe. You may be seated, she says, adding a touch of officialdom to the room. Hello, Your Honor, comes a reply, followed by a friendly, hello, Jerome. This casual greeting sets a surprisingly laid-back tone for the courtroom drama about to unfold.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, Jerome.
This is the case of Lindsay versus Word and Jones.
Thank you so much. Good day, everyone. Miss Lindsay, you say you're sick and tired of two men whom you believe are using your grandson as an excuse to walk in and out of your daughter's life.
Miss Lindsay, you say you're sick and tired of two men? The judge begins, diving straight into the drama. Miss Lindsay nods emphatically, accusing the men of using her grandson as a revolving door excuse to waltz in and out of her daughter's life. The audience gasps, sensing the soap opera level revelations just getting started.
Now you're here today along with your daughter Crystal to learn which of them fathered Austin. Now Mr. Word, you claim you want to be in Austin's life, but you say you're unsure biological father.
Yes.
You argue you, these doubts came directly from Crystal when she told you there is a second possible father.
Enter Mr. Jones, the other possible dad, appearing via video link from his hometown. Now Mr. Jones has been tested as well, the judge announces, setting the stage for more paternity puzzle pieces. Everyone in the courtroom leans in, ready for the virtual face-off.
Now, Mr. Jones, Austin's other possible father, has been tested as well, and he will be joining us from his hometown. Ms. Lindsay, let me start with you. Why do you think Mr. Word is taking advantage of your daughter?
Why do you think Mr. Word is taking advantage of your daughter? The judge probes further. Miss Lindsay launches into a tale of deceit, revealing Mr. Word met her daughter while still married, which Mr. Word hastily denies. Then they got a divorce, she continues, painting a picture of a man who can't seem to decide if he's in or out of relationships.
He was married.
Your Honor,
then they got a divorce.
That's not true. I was divorced in 2008.
Then they got a divorce.
Me and her met 2 or 3 years after that.
And then he was trying to still talk to my daughter.
So you felt like he was lying, he wasn't being genuine to your daughter?
Correct.
Mr. Word takes the floor with a dramatic flair, claiming he noticed changes in Crystal's body and knew she was pregnant. I love her. I still love her to this day, he declares, professing his undying affection and commitment to change his party boy ways. The audience claps, sucked into the telenovela unfolding before them.
At the time she found out she was pregnant.
No,
because you took her to, you took her to the clinic. I didn't even get to go to the clinic with her.
No, we might have been in a relationship at the, but she was not there when I realized she was pregnant. She came to my house, came to my room. When she laid down, of course, I know her body. I love her. I still love her to this day.
Crystal speaks up, her voice a mix of frustration and resignation as she details the rocky road with Mr. Word. Because we were having conflict and we were arguing and we were back and forth, she explains, painting a picture of a love story with more bumps than a gravel road. The courtroom murmurs, hooked on every word.
You also had sex with another guy?
Yes.
Now, tell me what the circumstances were that would cause you to do that if you were in a relationship.
Having conflict, and we was arguing, and we was back and forth the whole 3 years that we was together.
He was not taking care of her.
Actually,
I would have to take food down to her.
Times I didn't have money and I couldn't buy the things that she wanted.
When he went in her shoes and told her, "You're not going nowhere. You're gonna be here when I get back."
The spotlight swings back to Mr. Word, who's trying to paint himself in a better light, only manages to reveal the spottiness of his support. Sometimes I didn't have money, he admits, adding a twist to his narrative of noble intentions. The plot thickens, and the audience is itching to hear more about this financial roller coaster.
Mr. Word, let me ask you this, because you seem like once you found out she was pregnant, you said you would be there.
Didn't have him. We planned to. I was on birth control. I got off of birth control because we both agreed that we wanted to have a kid together and we wanted to start a family together.
That's true.
All right, when did you find out that there could be someone else?
After the baby was born.
Why did he go and sign the damn birth certificate?
Did you still bond with Austin? The judge asks, digging into the emotional aspects of Mr. Word's paternity doubts. I tried my best to, he responds, hinting at a heart perhaps not fully in the game. This half-hearted confession paves the way for even more courtroom drama.
How many times have you seen him since he's been born?
At least 30, but that's not my fault that it's so less.
So does he come see Austin regularly?
No, Your Honor, he does not.
He has, in the 2 years he's been born, he has only given $30 for his Halloween costume last year.
All right, let's cut to the chase. It's been almost 2 years since this child has been on this earth. Do you think part of the reason why you have not been as involved is because your doubt working in the back of your mind?
I'm telling you, it's because of her.
Mr. Jones finally gets his turn, explaining his ghosting during Crystal's pregnancy as a series of missed connections and miscommunications. We didn't have no contact with each other the whole time I was pregnant, Crystal confirms, adding layers to the mystery of who was really there for her. The audience leans forward, eager for the next twist.
Why have you not provided at all? Were you there through the pregnancy? When you found out she was pregnant, were you there?
I wasn't in touch with Crystal none through the pregnancy, and that was none of my fault at all. When she finally even had the baby, I didn't know no hospital or nothing. All I knew is she had a baby.
Oh, Your Honor,
No, he said
knew she was pregnant, but
through
never
the pregnancy,
tried to hide.
through the pregnancy, he didn't know. We didn't have no contact with each other the whole time I was pregnant.
Correct.
The family feud intensifies as Miss Lindsay recounts how both potential fathers have let Crystal down repeatedly. These men walking over her, it's not right, she laments, her frustration palpable. The courtroom nods in agreement, everyone now fully invested in the family's tangled web.
Stuff like that. And
when
put
you
stuff
take
in my
somebody's
hand.
paycheck and you don't have even them a pack of cigarettes, what would you call that? So I'm just putting the truth out there because I'm tired of them men, these men walking over her, that he takes her coat and her shoes and leaves her. It's not right that he takes her money and leaves her with no food. And now it's all about my grandson, because when these two dog her, who is going to have to come pick up that little boy?
And now for the moment of truth, the judge announces, ready to reveal the results of the DNA test.
Is the father of 1-year-old Austin. Mr. Word, you are the father.
This is the case of Kane versus Wright. Ms. Kane has had an on-again, off-again relationship with Mr. Wright for the past 3 years. Both parties have serious mistrust issues impacting their relationship. Buckle up, because it's about to get even wilder.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Kane versus Wright.
Thank you, Jerome. Good
welcome.
day, everyone. Ms. Kane, now you say you've had an on-again, off-again relationship with Mr. Wright for the past 3 years. In addition to questions regarding your daughter's paternity, you say your relationship has suffered from instability and constant mistrust.
Well, that escalated quickly. Ms. Kane admits she texted Mr. Wright saying she thought he was cute and wondered if they could take things further shortly after meeting him. They began dating, despite all the ex-drama swirling around them. Trust issues persisted like a bad rash as Ms. Kane's ex remained in the picture. Hold tight, because more revelations are coming.
I said that I thought he was cute and if we could move on to maybe something more.
Wait a minute. With the the tow truck man left, and then you just sent a text like, I think you cute, can we move on to something more? What, something more than you towing my car?
Yes.
Okay, and so you started dating?
Yes.
And at some point during this time, you got pregnant?
Yes.
What a tangled web. Judge Lake calls out the chaotic nature of their relationship. Both admit to still having some level of contact with their exes during their relationship. This chaotic situation is like trying to build a house on quicksand. The next part is even juicier.
Because you were still sleeping with the ex?
No, my ex did not believe that him and I hooked up.
Did he not believe it because that was his boy and he didn't think his boy would sleep with you?
Don't know, he never really got into all that. He didn't believe it.
And so meanwhile, Mr. Wright, what's your ex doing all this time? Because you living in the house with her, right?
My ex is, I guess, stay at the crib, take care of her kids.
You're still living with her while you're dating.
Right.
Can you believe this setup? Mr. Wright was living with his ex to help take care of her kids while he was dating Ms. Kane. Naturally, Ms. Kane suspects Mr. Wright was still getting cozy with his ex, which he vehemently denies. This bizarre arrangement only added fuel to the mistrust fire. And you won't believe what happens next.
She would get a hold of me off of Facebook and tell me that they're still together, that they're sleeping together.
That's not true. Me and her have broke up, and yes, I've done stuff with my ex. When we've been broke up.
It wasn't just when we were broken up.
Okay. So you all have a 4-way relationship that includes no. Let's just call it the way it is.
Things just got even more complicated. Ms. Kane tells Mr. Wright she's pregnant, but he's got serious doubts about the baby's paternity. Despite being there for the birth and supporting the child, he refused to sign the birth certificate because of his doubts. This unresolved paternity issue is like a ticking time bomb. The next revelation will shock you.
And at some point, with all this messiness, you get pregnant.
Yes.
And you tell him?
Yes.
And when she tells you, are you happy? Do you believe it's yours?
I was happy, but I still had that, with everything she's doing. I mean, she went over to her baby daddy's house. She has 2 other kids, went over to his house. Was over there for 3 hours when she knew that dinner was almost done. Ignore my phone calls, my text messages. Then finally she shows up. Oh, well.
Hold on to your seats. During an argument, Ms. Kane told Mr. Wright that the baby might not be his. She admits saying it out of anger, but stands firm that there's no other possibility. This bombshell further complicates their already strained relationship. You won't believe what comes next.
You told him while you were pregnant that this baby is not his.
Right.
I mean, just a couple months ago, she told me. We got into an argument, and I was like, I'm going down and filing for full custody. I'm going to file for paternity test, and I'm filing for full custody. She was like, you might want to go file because she probably ain't yours anyway.
Oh, that's when she said it.
Yeah, because he always wants to think he can just control everything I do. He wants me trapped in a house all the time.
It's not that I want her trapped in the house. I want her to actually do what she says she's going to do, just like her ex-boyfriend tells me every time she's with her mom.
What a twist! Judge Lake questions why they're still together despite the non-stop drama. Both express that they love each other, but recognize the many difficulties they face. Judge Lake emphasizes the dire need for trust and stability for their child's sake. The next part is a game changer.
At this point, I just want to know, why are you two even together?
Because I do
He
love
don't
her.
answer my call. She don't answer my call. It's a 2-hour break. She not taking the phone into the bathroom. I mean, this is just constant complaint after complaint. Neither one
one of you trusts the other one as far as you can throw them. You really don't.
Reality check. Judge Lake stresses that their daughter, Ariana, is caught in the middle of their tumultuous relationship. Both parties acknowledge the negative impact this chaos has on their child. Judge Lake emphasizes the critical need for a stable and trusting environment for their daughter. Hold on, because there's more.
You got a beautiful little girl that's losing because she's living in all this chaos.
I agree.
And can't put the phone down for 2 hours and somebody accuses you of cheating. Something's wrong.
I agree with that. I can't do anything.
Nobody want to walk around with the phone Velcro to their shirt.
That's not
you might miss a text.
That's not what happens though. She gets, okay, yep, I was pissed because she put the phone down right in the middle of a conversation. She gets back, what happens? The one that she had a threesome with is unblocked.
Can you handle the suspense? The paternity test results are finally revealed.
It has been determined, Mr. Wright, you are Ariana's father.
What an unbelievable situation to start with. Judge Lake opens the case of Strong vs. McClain, involving Ms. Strong summoning Ms. McClain to prove that her husband is not the father of Ms. McClain's 14-month-old daughter, Angel. Ms. Strong alleges Ms. McClain suddenly claimed her husband, fathered her child, and demanded he take responsibility. Ms. McClain asserts her daughter resulted from a passionate night and is certain Mr. Strong is the father. The next part is going to shock you even more. Hold on to your seats.
Hello.
This is a case of Strong vs. McClain.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Strong, you've summoned the defendant, Ms. McClain, to court to prove that your husband did not father her 14-month-old daughter, Angel. You say 1 month ago, Ms. McClain calls you out of the blue and claimed Mr. Strong was her child's father.
Wow, he really thought it was a setup. Mr. Strong admits he was nervous about the threesome due to past bad decisions and initially thought it was a setup. He reluctantly agreed and participated in multiple threesomes. He later heard rumors about Ms. McClain's pregnancy, but was told it was her ex-boyfriend's child. Can you imagine thinking your wife is setting you up with a threesome? This next part will leave you speechless.
Mr. Strong, you were nervous at first.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why were you nervous?
Because prior to our first couple months of our relationship, I had made a lot of bad decisions. And when she approached me with this conversation, I thought it was another setup.
Oh, you thought it was a setup? So you reluctantly agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Who would have thought they'd have so many? The court learns the group had a total of 8 threesomes before and after Ms. McClain's pregnancy. Ms. McClain confirms she discovered her pregnancy a few weeks after their first threesome. Despite being in a relationship with someone else at the time, she assumed her partner was the father until he was ruled out. 8 threesomes? That's like a miniseries. You won't believe what's coming next.
Before my daughter's birth and after it.
Total.
2.5 to 3 weeks after we had our very first threesome, I found out I was pregnant.
And you said you had 8 of them?
Correct.
So you were still having threesomes with them through your pregnancy?
And after.
Mr. and Ms. Strong, when Ms. McClain came and told you she was pregnant, how did that conversation go?
I asked her if it was my husband's child, and she told me no.
I was in a relationship at that point in time.
It's astonishing how race played into their doubts. Ms. Strong believes Angel does not look African American, leading to doubt about Mr. Strong's paternity. Judge Lake clarifies that mixed-race couples can have children with varying appearances, including fair skin. Despite ruling out her previous partner, Ms. McClain maintains Mr. Strong is the father due to shared traits between him and Angel. The drama only escalates from here. Buckle up.
But to be honest with you, a white person and a black person can still have a white baby.
Well, no, they can't.
They technically can. Not to argue with you, look
I
it
have
up.
mixed nieces and nephews.
No, what they can have is a biracial child. So what I will say, you are correct, Ms. McClain, that a black man and a white woman can make very fair-skinned children that appear almost white.
How touching that they've built a bond despite uncertainty. Mr. and Mrs. Strong describe how they began building a relationship with Angel, buying essentials and spending time with her whenever possible. They emphasize their readiness to embrace her into their family if Mr. Strong is proven to be her father. Both express a desire for clarity to avoid repeating cycles of fatherlessness. From threesomes to baby essentials, the revelations just keep coming.
There's like a whole gap there.
I haven't been around either. We were going back and forth to Chicago to all the doctors for her eye. She has a problem with her eye. It's a hemangioma. Her blood vessels grow too quickly in her eye. My daughter was more important than even contacting them.
So you said we'll deal with DNA issues later?
Correct.
Understood.
It's incredible they're still going through with it all. Despite the ongoing uncertainty, the Strong couple continues to have threesomes, now using double birth control. They are committed to raising Angel if she is Mr. Strong's biological daughter. Ms. Strong reveals she cannot have children due to medical reasons, which influences their willingness to welcome Angel. The story takes another twist. Don't miss it. Oh, it gets even more interesting.
And so once Angel got here, you said this innocent little baby deserves nothing less than our love and our support, and we welcome her into our family.
Yes, Your Honor. My kids welcomed her with open arms, not even knowing. They treat her like that's their sister, no matter what.
And it seems like you have less doubt than your husband.
I look at the conception date. She's been telling me for, a year that she's not, but I went back to the time of conception and she didn't leave my bed that night, so.
She really wants this blended family to work. Ms. McClain hopes Mr. Strong is Angel's father to provide her daughter with a stable family environment. She insists she will not keep Angel from knowing her father. Despite Mr. Strong not being the biological father, she maintains a desire for Angel to have a father figure in her life. The moment of truth is almost here. The suspense is killing me.
Ms. McClain would be able to give him the child you're unable to give him.
Absolutely, and he would be able to have a son and a daughter, and that's all he's ever wanted. He treats my kids like they're his with no hesitation. So absolutely, I would take her in with open arms and raise her. He does it for me, regardless if they were there before he was. We all three got together and made her together. We should raise her together.
Very forward thinking.
Here comes the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA test results are revealing.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Strong, you are not the father.
That was quite an opening, right? Ms. Commons comes in hot, claiming Mr. Baker has been denying their 2-year-old daughter Breeze and won't lift a finger for her. She's dead set on proving he's the daddy in court today. Meanwhile, Mr. Baker is like, hold up, I was a loving dad until I found out she cheated. Now he's full of doubts. Hang on, this story is just warming up.
Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Commons versus Baker.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Commons, you claim the defendant has been denying your 2-year-old daughter Breeze and refuses to do anything for her. You are furious and testify that you are certain he is the father and plan to prove that today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you believe that emotional roller coaster? Ms. Commons says Mr. Baker's done a 180, now always telling Breeze to go to her mama, even when the kid wants him. Poor Breeze just wants some daddy cuddles and skin rubbing time, but Mr. Baker's playing hot potato with his own kid. Then he butts in like, nah, she's lying, and we're just getting started, folks.
And give me an example how he denies.
First, he'll say, go over there to your mama. He know how my baby is affectionate. My baby got a skin fetish. She like to rub on people. So that hurt my feelings when he be like, go to your mama. And she be like, I want you. And he just saying, go to your mama. And she want you. She knows
and that makes you emotional when
exactly.
You
Hold up. Did you catch that? Mr. Baker dropped some serious accusations, saying Ms. Commons is a serial cheater and super shady with her phone. He's like, every time her phone pings, she hides it. But if mine does, she acts like it's Jesus calling. Despite all this drama, he initially decided to step up and be a dad, but wait till you hear what he says next.
All right, well, first of all, I got doubts because everything that come out of her mouth a lie. Like, all the stuff she did in the past from just cheating with multiple people. Cheating with multiple people. I could catch her like, if her phone bings, she hide it.
If my phone bings, you just want it. It could be, if my phone bing, it could be Jesus Christ. He gonna think it's I'm sleeping with.
Oh my gosh!
Can you believe the twist here? Ms. Commons drops the bombshell that Mr. Baker only started denying Breeze after she admitted to a fling with her ex. She's like, we had a great night, then suddenly he flips out and calls me all kinds of names the next morning. Talk about a mood swing. And then things take another wild turn.
When we was on our way home that morning, you would have thought he was Tasmanian Devil. He was like, B, that's not my baby. You know it ain't my baby. I'm like, what? Where did that just come from? We had a good night.
How could you explain a good night because she sat there and said, I cheated. Oh, it's a good night.
You didn't, he didn't leave the room, did he?
It was painful.
He still slept with me that night.
Okay, hold on.
Wow, what a plot twist. Mr. Baker recounts Ms. Commons confessing to cheating while they were chilling in a hot tub. She dropped the affair bombshell right around the time Breeze was conceived, making him even more suspicious. And guess what? The drama is just about to peak.
We chilling in the hot tub, jacuzzi and everything, and out the blue just came. Hold on.
No, Jan, that's not what happened. I can tell you exactly what happened.
She like, I cheated, I stepped out. So I'm looking like, when you do it? I asked her, she talking about, I don't even remember what date, but it was too close to when Breeze
was conceived.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Can you even imagine? Ms. Commons thinks Breeze's health issues, like whooping cough turning into asthma, prove Mr. Baker is the dad because he's got asthma too. She's like, science, duh! But Mr. Baker isn't having it. He's focused on her past flings. And here comes another twist.
When my baby was a little baby, she had whooping cough. When I talked to the doctor said that down the line, whooping cough can cause some form of asthma. He walks around with his asthma pump in his pocket. He pulls out the asthma pump and hit the asthma pump. That's how I know for a fact that's his daughter. For a fact, that's his daughter.
This just hit another level. Judge Lake has had enough, calling out both of them for their childish antics and reminding them that their daughter is the real victim here. She's like, get it together for Breeze's sake, and you won't believe what comes next.
Go to your mama, whether you have her all day long and you know she wants you. She says this, I want you. That hurt. You don't know nobody inside feelings. Just like I don't know your inside feelings. Just like what I did to you was wrong, but for you to do this to this baby is not right. She's a baby. Thank God she don't understand.
Because you feel like you see him rejecting her.
Yes.
We're at a place where we can understand what really happened.
What an intense moment. Darlesia Baker, Mr. Baker's sister, jumps in claiming she knows Ms. Commons was messing around with other guys during the conception period. They were apparently besties, sharing all the juicy details. Ms. Commons is like, lies, all lies. But the final reveal is coming, and it's big.
What relationship are you to Mr. Baker?
I am Brandon's oldest sister.
And what are you here to testify to as it relates to the paternity of Breeze Baker?
Me and Mary been friends, best friends for 10 years. And we used to run the streets together, which means like we was double dating, kicking it, going back to the clubs and stuff. And to fast forward about that.
Here's the moment of truth. The DNA results are in. And surprise, surprise.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Baker, you are the father.
I'm happy.
The judge opens the case of Capples versus Harris, and Miss Capples doesn't waste any time asserting that Mr. Harris is the father of her 15-month-old son, Jason. She is super confident that he should acknowledge paternity, despite his girlfriend's evil eye from across the room. Hold on to your seats, folks. This is just the beginning.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Capples versus Harris.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Miss Capples, you say you are 100% certain that the defendant is your 15-month-old son, Jason's biological father, and today he's going to put his name on the dotted line right in front of his girlfriend.
Wait, what? Miss Capples spills the beans, saying she and Mr. Harris were never an item. They were just friends with benefits. She clears up any confusion about their relationship status, which is basically, it's complicated without the Facebook update. This is the kind of drama you live for.
Clarify that now. We were just
sleeping together.
That's pretty much it.
Were you in another relationship?
No.
I was not, no.
I wasn't.
Find out you pregnant. Obviously, you weren't using protection if there's a question that he's the biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You tell him, did he immediately deny the baby? You feel like he's just denying the baby now because of his girlfriends?
Me and Mr. Harris started talking. We used to go to high school together.
This part is wild. Miss Capples busts out a calendar, presenting a detailed timeline of her trysts with Mr. Harris and how it matches Jason's conception. She's practically doing a math equation on how the dates line up perfectly with her rendezvous. Evidence like this makes you grab the popcorn.
Your Honor, as you can see, my son Jason was born January 9th, 2016.
Okay.
Me and Mr. Harris were intimate for 9 months, all the way up until May, the beginning of May.
No.
September, we started talking around September, Mr. Harris.
This is a head scratcher. The court finds out Mr. Harris didn't even know Miss Capples' real name the entire time they were hooking up. How do you forget someone's name after months of, well, you know? This revelation is the kind of twist you'd expect in a bad rom-com.
When we contacted Mr. Harris and told him that Ms. Shatera Capples summoned him for a DNA test, he said, I don't know who you're talking about. Muffin?
That is correct.
I'm pretty sure I told him my name. Would you remember Shantira or would you remember Muffin? Would I go by around town?
If you having sex for that many months with the same person without using any protection, you gotta at least know their name.
Oh snap, she went there. Miss Capples admits she was ticked off when Mr. Harris didn't show up for the birth, so she didn't bother asking him to sign the birth certificate. Now she's looking back and thinking, oops, my bad. You won't believe what's coming next.
I wasn't worried about that, him signing the birth certificate at that point. You wanna act like you ain't the daddy? We can
But
act
you
like
are
that.
here today saying now has to sign it in front of girlfriend
sign it in front of his
today.
girlfriend.
From here, no, what is that? But my point is this: if it didn't make any difference to you then, do you know now that that was an error?
Sorry.
So you've come to the realization that that was you being angry, and now that's why you're here court today, because you know that your child deserves to have mother and father listed on his birth certificate.
Yeah, sure.
And the drama intensifies. Miss Capples and Mr. Harris's girlfriend, Miss Mayfield, are bickering about a hospital encounter like they're on a reality show. Miss Mayfield is trying to defend her job while while Miss Capples is airing all the dirty laundry. The verbal sparring is about to hit a new high.
Hold on, what is this about the hospital room, Miss Capples?
She was undergoing surgery, getting ready to have my tubes tied.
That is my job.
Okay, what's Your Honor, as a woman, I would not want to be in a room with a woman that's having my boyfriend's baby.
You work at the hospital, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then that was where they told you your station or where you were supposed to be?
Yeah.
You said that?
Today, we got our stuff to do. Yes, ma'am.
You did not let anyone know because it was your job and you were trying to be professional.
Yes, miss. Yes, ma'am.
Buckle up, it's getting heated. The argument between Miss Capples and Miss Mayfield escalates to a whole new level, showing just how deep the emotional scars run. The judge has to step in to keep things from boiling over. But trust me, the drama is far from over.
You don't have to with the kids. What you talking about?
No, he don't. All right, one at a time. Ooh-wee. What's disappointing is that you all in this back and forth is getting in the way of us finding out the answers and trying to achieve some sort of resolution for Jason. Because if what Miss Capples has asserted is true, and you are his biological father, y'all can't do this.
Exactly.
No. This is the big moment. The judge steps in to remind everyone that the real issue is figuring out who Jason's father is, not who can shout the loudest. The stage is set for the big reveal with the DNA test results. This is what we've all been waiting for.
That's exactly why this courtroom exists, because you all going back and forth on some tit for tat nonsense, and oh, he don't think this, so I ain't gonna let him see him, and this is all nonsense. And you know what? I got the results, and that's what's gonna help us move onto a better page. Jerome, let me have that envelope. Jerome, yes, please stand there. I don't want any drama.
Hold on to your hats. The DNA results drop the bombshell.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Harris, you are not the father.
Thank you. Thank you.
You didn't sleep with no one else.
There we go.